What's up, guys? Let's talk about holster retention. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about holster retentions of like a duty holster or something like that. What I'm talking about is kind of the passive retention that you're going to find on most of your concealed carry holsters, and especially what I want to talk about today is the retention settings for an inside the waistband holster like this guy here by Four Brothers. This is from my SIG Fuse, and by the way, if you guys are checking out holsters or looking around, especially for the SIG products, Four Brothers make a fantastic product. I really recommend these metal clips. They are pretty awesome and very, very secure. That set aside, when it comes to setting the retention, most holsters are going to have sets of screws, which is basically going to take that kind of taco shell type of deal, and they're going to squeeze it together, and the more they squeeze it together, that's how do they make the retention. Majority of the time when we're talking about that, we're talking about the retention on the light, meaning that that's where the actual holster is really squeezing on the gun. If you take the light off, it won't retain at all because it's not the way that holster's designed, which is different than a duty holster, for example. Okay, so what I want to talk about is that when this is adjusted, a lot of people take their new gun, they put it in there, and then they start adjusting screws, and they check the retention, and they put it back in, and so forth. In order to really adjust properly your retention for an inside the waistband holster, you have to check it once it's in your waistband, because you have to remember that once the actual belt goes on, you're going to think about the weight of the pressure that this gun has being held against the body, right? And then the belt's put on and it's being snugged in there. That's putting a lot of pressure and squeezing that holster shut. So what I see a lot of times, a lot of clients come to me and they bought this new holster and they adjusted it outside like this. They turn the screws where it felt good now. And then like, I don't know, as soon as I put it on, it's so tight I can barely get it out. Well, that's because we're not accounting for the amount of pressure it takes that's applied rather when the actual gun is being worn. So make sure before you start turning the screws on these guys that you put this in the holster with your belt on, check the draw with the gun clear, of course, and then make adjustments from there. You'll save yourself a lot of aggravation.